Hey guys, welcome to Motivational Thursday. My special guest this week is Cherie. Hi, Cherie.
Hello, Marie. Thank you for having me. I was born into a really musical family, a very classical focus, and I kind of rebelled against it. My grandmother was a violin teacher, and I just couldn't think of anything more boring. Looking at the crafting that they did at the time, now I know it's everything, but at the time it just didn't. I just wanted to be, Whitney Houston. So seeing people play classical violin didn't inspire me at all. So I wanted to be a lawyer, and I spent all of my schooling preparing for my transition into the legal world. When I decided to, if I was going to do the university thing, I was like fully committed to it. I think fourth form or fifth form, I went to Avondale College, and I was introduced to music in a more kind of relaxed, fun way by Paul Norman, who was the music teacher there. Made tons of cool friends and ended up in the school funk band, and then ended up not going to university and straight into the music industry after I finished school.
What a big turn.
Such a big turn.
You've been in the industry for 28 years. Now, with the knowledge you have, what advice would you give yourself 28 years ago?
Oof. I think the advice that I would give myself is just to trust myself a little bit more and really be okay with who I am. Like, that identity that you will firstly search for and be okay with some kind of identity, whatever that might be on the day, whether it's, say being a singer, just like really committing to, if you want to be a singer, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a motivational speaker, believe that you are, and then kind of act into it. Because I think that identity really seals the deal and helps you to figure out how to act if that's the end goal that you're working towards. In the beginning, I had such strong insecurities.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all do, and I still do sometimes, but I have a better internal dialogue that I tell myself that stems from that advice that I would have told myself at 18, which is just trust yourself, trust your gut, follow through with what your gut tells you to do, and you can always pivot like I did if you find a better path that's more true to where you are on that day.
That's good advice. But you never know unless you go through it, eh? It's so sad that you have to go through something, then you'll have better advice for yourself. But you have to go through it first.
That's the toughest part. And the trust comes from knowing, like when you're literally standing on the edge of something new or different, and you're like, I don't know if I want to take that next step. The trust has to come there that there's always going to be a new next step that you have to take. You just have to trust yourself in that moment.
Everybody is a teacher on your journey.
Yes, that's right. And hitting rock bottom, I think, can mean different things to different people. But for me, creatively, it was getting to a point in my career where I wasn't enjoying it. Was a cover singer for the majority of my career. Whilst I also write music for myself and for other people, my focus and my choice had been to focus on covers music. And I just started to not enjoy it, resent it almost, resent performing. And what my goal for being a performer or being a singer is to connect with people and to have these musical conversations, So when you're resenting a conversation or a relationship of some sort, then that is time to maybe consider why things aren't working and what you should do. And so for me, creatively, I guess that was it. I just was really tired of performing in that capacity. So I made the decision to stop. And so I sort of semi-retired from performing about 3 years ago. And that was the thing that helped me. I stopped doing what was really triggering my dislike for or really limiting my creativity. But I've hit rock bottom in lots of other areas, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, all of the ways. And I think I probably will continue to.
I'm so glad that you've hit the stage again, because Dan, you look like Beyonce out there. Man,
That's who I'm channeling.
yeah,
She's literally the person I channel.
and you literally look like you are at home when you are on stage. Like I've seen your pictures for the symphony, and I was like, "Wow, Cherie's in her element."
And you know what? I think it's because I made that decision to stop performing.
Yeah,
Because then and this is one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever been given, say yes to everything and then say no to everything at some point as well. So when you're starting out, you just got to do and get as much experience as you can to a point, and then you've got to say no. And that's really hard for heaps of people, is to say no.
yeah.
And that's what I did to get me out of rock bottom, was I started to say no to just about everything. And what that did is it opened up this door to a few very key yes opportunities, one of which was symphony and one of which was LAB. And so that has been, so my passion is back.
In the conversation now, because you left the old conversation, now you've reignited that fire that was once within you, and now you're having greater conversations about what
Exactly. I think finding your voice is well, firstly, listening to yourself, because that's where your voice comes from, and listening to that internal dialogue and making sure that it's the one that you want, like that you're treating yourself as good as you treat other people, because it's so easy for us to be so good to other people and then treat ourselves like absolute crap.
Yeah.
Tell ourselves, and just in our language is so powerful. The colloquialisms that we use, like, oh, what an egg, or, oh, I'm so stupid. That kind of stuff, it just rolls off the tongue, but your head believes what you're telling yourself, So if you tell yourself you're an egg or you're stupid, even if it's just this really flippant, like, oh, God, I'm so crap, you're going to believe it. So firstly, listening to your own internal voice, trusting your gut, and making sure that you're telling yourself positive things. And I think that opens that door again, that yes-no thing. It opens the door to a more positive channel to be connected with yourself and with the world, or with music, or whatever your pursuit is, in the most clear way possible and true. Really, if you're honest, that's the word I'm looking for, in the most honest way. If you're really honest with yourself, it's easier to find your voice and to focus on those sort of honest conversations that you might have with others creatively, and in life.
There's been certain people, the last special guest I had on was Max, and he helped me at a time too, and honestly, you've always been such a great person. Like, throughout my journey, like, you've been here and there, but like every time I link up with you or I talk to you, I'm like, I just start to believe in myself, and I start to feel, I think you leave that vibe with everyone, like you leave that vibration with everyone, like they leave you better than they arrived.
Look, thank you for saying that. But the thing is that this is the same with being a vocal coach. Everyone arrives to have a conversation with me as good as they already are, the best version of themselves. I just hope that I help you to open the trust with yourself up a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like, I think everyone's already amazing. They just have to kind of trust that they are and see it in themselves. So I'm glad that my vibe helps you to feel that way, because you're already like that. So it's just a matter of, opening it up.
Man, thank you, Cherie. How did you find your voice in rhythm and music?
I think it comes down to that trust in yourself and trusting in your uniqueness, and not also being afraid of what I call in singing like your default settings. Stuff that you come to the table with is already really great. You want to be able to identify, like when I'm working with singers and we're doing like a song study, working a song, the natural inclination when someone videos themselves and watches it back is they'll cringe. You know, that's the first thing. They're like, ooh, they see all the things that they don't like,
Yeah.
which is a given. So what I try to get them to do is to see what they do like as well, and start to strengthen that muscle of balance between, this is what I'm bringing to the table that's really good, but this is what I want to work on. You can have both in tandem as a singer and a human. I think you should probably, but what we don't do is often remind ourselves of what is working and the gratitude that comes around that, and the perspective of, well, my perspective that made the shift for me was I trusted that my voice was super unique. And like from a physiological perspective, like there is only this shaped mouth and this shaped nasal passage and this shaped larynx. Like I can't change that. So what can I do to work with it? You know, and that trust of just being like, there's always going to be singers that are better than me. There are always going to be singers that haven't crafted as much as I have. What you going to do about it? It is what it is. You just have to take what you got, make it as good as it can be, and celebrate the stuff that does come maybe a little more naturally to you.
What has been your most enjoyable collaboration and music experience to date?
LAB. Working with LAB has been the best musical experience. It's been the best professional experience. I have learned so much on and off stage about an amazing human, because they are amazing humans, like hands down, just good people. Very whānau focused as well too, which I love. Like it really is an ethos that you feel in the band and in the environment. I feel respected. So I'm learning how to treat people professionally. Plus they're the best musicians I've ever worked with, you know, on stage. Musically, there's just nothing like it. There are moments where, because we rehearse and we, you know, we get to the stage as prepared as we can be, but also in that point of being able to improvise if things happen. And there are just magical moments that show how musically amazing they are when you're like in a song that you've rehearsed, and then all of a sudden they do like a little jam, just a couple of bars or something, and you're like, whoa, what just happened? That's amazing. You know, I lose my mind, because it's just so, it's the best creative environment I've ever been in. So that's that.